Hey guys, this is tonight's video for our discussion tomorrow. I'm going to share my screen and take you to today's story. Please remember we have a quiz on this first thing tomorrow in class. I'm going to make sure that I share the information with you in this video that you're going to need in order to be successful with that. If you go into Schoology, you will, hopefully you're already there, right? Because you're either watching this in Schoology or you are watching this on YouTube. But if you go into your class in Schoology, you click on the troll, and then you go into childhood, you will find Brown Girl Dreaming. Nope, sorry, mine looks a little bit different than yours. It is up here. Here it is, the Brown Girl Dreaming PDF. And this is the story we're working on today. So remember, you're going to get this error message. Didn't pop up? Sweet. The error message didn't pop up. That's even better. All right, so this is what this looks like, and we're going to go ahead and take it full screen so it's easier to see. Okay, this is from Brown Girl Dreaming by Jacqueline Woodson. As a child in the 1960s, Jacqueline Woodson moved with her family from Greenville, South Carolina, to Brooklyn in New York City. Her memoir, Brown Girl Dreaming, tells of her childhood experiences growing up in both places. In a memoir, an author recalls important events in his or her life. Brown Girl Dreaming is unique as a memoir because it is written in verse or as poetry. So, we're going to be reading little poems that she wrote about pieces of her life. So, if you write about a person's whole life, it's a biography. If the person writes about their own life, it's an autobiography. This is a memoir because this is just about part of her life. So, the first poem is called Brooklyn Rain. The rain here is different than the way it rains in Greenville. No sweet smell of honeysuckle, no soft squish of pine, no slip and slide through the grass, just Mama saying, "Stay inside today, it's raining." And me at the window, nothing to do but watch the gray sidewalk grow darker, watch the drops slide down the glass pane, watch people below me move fast, heads bent. Already there are stories in my head, already color and sounds and words. Already I'm drawing circles on the glass, humming myself someplace far away from here. Down south, there was always someplace else to go. You could step out into the rain, and Grandma would let you lift your head and stick out your tongue. Be happy. Down south already feels like a long time ago, but the stories in my head take me back there, set me down in Daddy's garden where the sun is always shining. So, after each one of these poems, I'll just talk to you guys briefly about what's happening in these poems. Okay, so this one's called Brooklyn Rain. And as we found out here in the beginning, she's moved from the south of our country in South Carolina, where it's warm and there are not a lot of people living in close areas with each other, to a city, a really, really busy city, New York City. Okay, so she is staring out at the window because her mom says she can't go outside today, right? So she sees people. She's living in a big, tall building because she's looking down at the people as they're moving along, okay, along the street. And she is humming herself someplace far away. So she's imagining that she's someplace else. Okay, she's imagining she's back down south in Greenville where grandma would let them play outside in the rain, right? And would let them be happy. So there's some sort of feeling here that she's not real happy in this poem. Down south feels like a long time ago, okay? But in her head, she can remember it and she goes back there where she was happy and the sun was shining. Okay, this next poem is called Another Way. Another way. While our friends are watching TV or playing outside, we are in our house knowing that begging our mother to turn the television on is useless. Begging her for 10 minutes outside will only mean her saying no, saying, "You can run wild with your friends anytime. Today, I want you to find another way to play." And then one day, my mother comes home with two shopping bags filled with board games: Monopoly, checkers, chess, ants in the pants, sorry, trouble, just about every game we've ever seen in the commercials between our Saturday morning cartoons. So many games, we don't know where to begin playing, so we let Roman choose. He chooses trouble because he likes the sound the die makes when it pops inside its plastic bubble. And for days and days, it's Christmas in November. Games to play when our homework is done, Monopoly money to count, and checkers to slam down on boards, ants to flip into blue plastic pants, chess pieces to practice moving until we understand their power. And when we don't, Roman and I argue there's another way to play, called our way. But Hope and Dell tell us that we're too immature to even begin to understand. Then bend over the chessboard in silence, each becoming the next chess champ of the house, depending on the day and the way the game is played. Sometimes Roman and I leave Hope and Dell alone, go to another corner of the room, and become what the others call us, the two youngest. Playing games we know the rules to: tic tac toe and checkers, hangman and connect the dots. But mostly we lean over their shoulders as quietly as we can, watching, waiting, wanting to understand how to play another way. So in this poem, Jacqueline Woodson calls it another way, and she uses this another way throughout the poem. So you might notice there's kind of a pattern here. Okay, the mom wants them to find another way to play. Instead of going and running around with their friends while they're stuck inside, she wants them to find another way to play, right? And she gets them all these board games. Okay, but sometimes they don't understand how to play these games. They play some of them, but some of them they don't understand how to play. So chess pieces to practice moving until we understand their power. But when we don't, Roman and I argue that there's another way to play. So Roman is a younger kid, just like Jacqueline Woodson is younger. Okay, there are two older kids in this. The other kids are Hope and Dell. Okay, they're older and they understand the rules of a game like chess, which is pretty complicated. But Roman and Jacqueline Woodson, don't understand the rules of chess, so they make up their own rules, right? And you've probably done that to games before, kind of made up your own rules, right? They're playing with the real rules of chess, okay, and they want to find out how to do this, but they don't. So they play other games they know the rules to, but then they kind of watch them playing the chess because they want to find another way to play chess. They want to be able to figure out how to play it by the rules. Okay. Pretty cool poem. I like that one. Gifted. Everyone knows my sister is brilliant. The letters come home folded neatly inside official looking envelopes my sister proudly hands over to my mother. Odella has achieved. Odella has excelled at. Odella has been recommended to. Odella's outstanding performance in. She is gifted, we are told, and I imagine presents surrounding her. I'm not gifted. When I read, the words twist, twirl across the page. When they settle, it's too late. The class has already moved on. I want to catch words one day. I want to hold them, then blow gently, watch them float right out of my hands. So, here, this is a poem about her sister, but also how she feels about her sister, right? Okay, so her sister is brilliant. She gets um, all this praise from all these people saying that she is gifted, right? And so when she hears the word gifted, she thinks about presents, like actually receiving gifts. Okay, she has presents surrounding her, but she's not gifted. In fact, when she reads, she has a really tough time because the words twist and twirl across the page. She can't make them be still on the page so that she can read them. Okay, when they finally do become still on the page, it's too late. So it takes her a long time to figure out what the words on the page are saying. And then the class is already moving on because they're not waiting for her. So she has some sort of reading difficulty, right? She wants to be able to catch these words, and then she wants to be able to blow gently and watch them float out of her hands. So she wants to be able to use these words. Okay, she wants to be able to use these words. Sometimes. There is only one other house on our block where a father doesn't live. When somebody asks why, the boy says, "He died." The girl looks off down the block, her thumb slowly rising to her mouth. The boy says, "I was a baby." Says, "She doesn't even remember him," and points to his silent sister. Sometimes I lie about my father. "He died," I say, "in a car wreck," or "he fell off a roof," or maybe "he's coming soon." Next week, and next week, and next week. But if my sister's nearby, she shakes her head, says she's making up stories again, says we don't have a father anymore, says our grandfather is our father now, says sometimes that's just the way things happen. So, in this poem, Sometimes, we're starting to learn a little bit more about Jacqueline Woodson through some of her experiences here. So, on her block, there's only one other house where a father doesn't live. So, almost every household that she knows about has a father, which is not always what we see in today's world, right? And she doesn't have a father. Okay. When somebody asks the boy that doesn't have a father, the boy says he died. Okay. Now, when she's asked about her father, she'll say sometimes that he died or that he was in a car wreck or that he's coming next week, but really he's not. Okay. So her father is not dead because her sister says she's making up stories. He's not dead. Okay. And he's not coming next week. So when we put that together, we can see he's just gone, right? He's not coming back. So, how does she feel about this? Is kind of something that we want to focus on. How is she feeling about her father being gone? If she's making up stories about this, what do you think? How is she feeling about why her father is gone? Okay. Now we have Uncle Robert and we have a couple other. I mean, it's taking a while to load here. We have Uncle Robert and we have Wishes and we have Believing. We will get to those on another day. But for today, we're just going to cover these poems because I think this is a great place for us to have our discussion. So here in Brooklyn Rain, okay, remember she's moving, okay? And in another way, remember the mom brings home the board games, right? And then in Gifted, remember her sister's real smart, okay? So remember, you're going to need to be ready for the quiz, and then we're going to talk about these. We're not going to get to Uncle Robert in our discussion. We're just going to talk about these first three poems. Okay, just these first three poems that are in this story, because I think that this video is long enough, and tomorrow is going to be a short day. So please come ready to take the quiz tomorrow, and I look forward to seeing you. And uh, hope you guys have a great night.